Ladies, I don't know who needs to hear this, but release yourself from the shackles of believing that anything karmic is inherently negative. The word karmic is just another word for fated. And every karmic relationship you have, whether it is parental, siblings, friends, or romantic relationships, circumstances, places, and things, is not always a negative experience. It is directly correlated to your level of accountability in your own spiritual journey. For example, I was in a karmic romantic relationship for 3 years. I have absolutely nothing negative to say about that human being. They came into my life at a time where I needed to know that I was worthy, I needed to be loved, and I needed to also learn that it was okay to outgrow a person. I've had different situations in my life where I've had karmic friends that came to bitter ends and karmic friends that were just in my life for a time, and we grew apart and we were no longer serving each other along our journey. Your karma is totally and 100% connected to you and your level of accountability in your life to answer the call for change when it's time. When a karmic relationship is negative, more than likely, it is a result of an individual ignoring aspects of their life where they need to grow and change. And the universe says to them, if you like discomfort, I love it. Let's turn it up a notch and get toxic with it. You understand?
Peace, and ascension. Welcome back to my channel. I am Monica, and this is Muse by Monica. Come on in, take your shoes off, ground. Welcome to the channel if you are new here, and welcome back if you are returning. We have another video for you guys, another TikTok compilation. Get some of these in before, like good old banishing comes about. We're going to watch some clips about karmic relationships / karmic lessons. All of us, none of us are exempt to our karma. None of us are exempt to learning a karmic lesson. Some of us are even sent here to be intentional karmic lessons for a lot of the people that we encounter. Unfortunately, that mission is for a lot of healers, for a lot of empaths, for a lot of spiritual workers. You encountering a great immense of karmic lessons. And like I said, there is a couple of categories of people who are going to experience their karmic lesson, who are going to experience a karmic lesson. There are individuals who fall into the category of experiencing a karmic lesson based on their past lives, based on their past experiences, based on their actions in this lifetime as well as the actions in their previous lifetime. Not all of us are going to face that or experience that instant karma in this lifetime. A lot of people don't experience their karma till 2, 3, 4, 5 lifetimes later when they incarnate and have to experience a certain lifestyle, or even if they incarnate through karmic parents, through a karmic family, they're learning some type of karmic lesson. And that leads into another category of individuals who experience a different type of karmic lesson. This will be in the form of parents and children. Parents who carry karma from their past lives or who carry karma from a current life can manifest children, can produce children who are karmic in nature as well. And they are our lesson, and they are the situation or people or boundaries, whatever it is that we need to work on in this lifetime. And then there is the category of people who are sent here with a very specific divine message to, or purpose, to be a mirror or are placed in people's lives in order to awaken them, to wake them up, to show them who they are, or to remind them who it is that they really are. I don't know. I'm getting this vision. I don't know if this is a real life vision. I mean, like movie, or if this is like a dream or just something I'm kind of seeing, but it's like a scene where it's like a lot of like dead energy, dead people spiritually, like they're living but their souls are dead, right? If you like were to see them in the veil, if you were to see just their spiritual bodies here, right? A lot of dead souls, dead energy. But I am getting the vision, if you were to go around and you were to tap these people on the shoulder, right? If you were to tap these people on the shoulder and kind of bring them to life here, to bring their energy to life here, there's like certain people who you are meant to bring a certain light to their life or shine a certain light on their life. Your soul's purpose is to be a karmic lesson for them, or an awakening for their soul, a reminder to their spirit, like, hey now, you're asleep. It's time to wake. It's time to wake up and remind them who they are. This is also giving me an energy of when you do have certain people enter your life and you sense a very strong connection with them, or you sense an uncanny feeling or need or desire to have them or keep them in your life, you have been sent for a divine mission, or they have been sent for a divine mission, or the two of you have been sent into each other's life for a divine mission to trigger something within the other person by being a karmic mirror to them, by mirroring to them. One, if your mission is to mirror the parts of themselves that they are unhealed, that they have not healed in this lifetime, or if you have come back in multiple reincarnations and multiple lifetimes with this person because they refuse to learn the lesson here, okay? Because like I said, you can enter into these karmic lessons or have these karmic lessons with people who have built up karma over many lifetimes, who've built up karma over a span of time in this life, in this past, as well as in multiple past lives. So there are going to be certain people who are coming back for a purpose, for a mission, for a vengeance, to bring you your karma, whether this is someone, an energy or soul that you've encountered many lifetimes before, or you've encountered, this is a brand new soul. This is someone who your divine team sent in fresh, hot, heavy, to infiltrate the spiritual warfare that you have going on within your personal DNA, and then within in your lineage. This is a certain spirit or energy that is forced to come in and awaken you. And remember, healers, that it is important to understand that just because you are on your healing journey, or you are sent here with the mission to heal, you understand your energy, does not mean that everyone else understands their role in the journey. So we're going to continue to watch these clips. I hope you guys find some truth, clarity, and confidence within these clips. Remember that we are all karmics. We are all karmic energy. We all carry karmic energy, and we all show up in karmic energy for certain people at certain times in our lives. Don't take it too personal, but just use discernment and understanding what it is that you need to learn as far as boundaries and what others need to learn as far as wanting to grow and heal and change and evolve themselves in order to maintain a connection, a relationship with you. All right. So those are going to be the messages, flowers. Go ahead and enjoy the video. Until next time. Peace. Ashe.
Listen to this.
Going off of compatibility just by itself can be a trap. Because first off, you can be compatible with a demon. Like devils know what you like too. The type of women that you like, you want her to have more curves in the highway. The type of man that you like, you want him tall with broad shoulders and a beard. The enemy could send you pain gift wrapped as your preference. So that's just the first thing about how compatibility can be a trap. The second thing is compatibility is season based. It is possible for you to be compatible with the season of their struggle, but not the season of their success. I want somebody who's going to be there for me if I hit rock bottom. Well, what if they can only handle your rock bottom, but they can't handle your upward season? So now the question becomes, are we really compatible, or do we just share similar dysfunction? We're both broken in the same area. We're both wounded over the same things. We have the same feelings over the same wounds, so we end up sharing hearts. But what happens if one of you heals and the other one doesn't? Because just because you heal doesn't mean that they're going to heal, and just because you heal doesn't mean that you can make them heal. What happens if one of you heal? You will remove what y'all had in common. And I want us to be so whole and so secure that when we heal, we don't end up feeling guilty because they're crawling, but we now have wings. It's not just about compatibility, it's about suitability. Does this individual suit my assignment well? Do they complement what it is that God has me doing in earth while I'm here in time? When a man or a woman has found that, that's a blessing. Because when God gives a blessing, you're not gonna have to exchange your mental health as payment to keep it. So maybe you're so exhausted because you're breastfeeding toxicity in order to maintain an image of being happy over the very thing that you told everybody was a blessing.
A karmic relationship is a relationship that feels like a soulmate, but you continue to go through the same cycles and patterns of hell, essentially, okay? Let me explain the difference between a karmic cycle and a soulmate to you. This is a deep lesson, so you might want to grab your notebooks and your pens because this goes deep and it's going to literally explain why your relationship has been the way that it's been. And I'm about to clock your T. So it means that you are stuck in the same cycle because you refuse to learn the lesson. When you choose to learn the lesson and walk away permanently and remove yourself, you will no longer be stuck in that cycle. But a lot of us have a hard time trying to understand the lesson that has been presented to us. And I'm somebody who also has been in this scenario and situation before. I was with a man that we continue to go through the same cycle of getting together. Things are really great. Then he does something. Then we're breaking up. Now he's making up for it and he's love bombing me, so we get back together. And then things are really good for a period of time, and then he does something, so I break up with him again. Then he love bombs me back to him, so we get back together. Do I need to like, and everybody's cycle won't be the same, but what I'm trying to explain here is a lot of times you're just in a cycle and you're refusing to learn the lesson, so you're going to continue to stay in that cycle. A prime example of this is somebody like Janae Aiko. I know that her and Big Sean have a beautiful relationship and they look like they're meant to be together. They appear as though they are soulmates, but they are not because they are stuck in a karmic cycle. And so as long as they're together, they're going to keep going in the same cycle. Your soulmate is not going to have you bear his children and not want to provide for you, protect you forever. That's a karmic. A man who is okay with you having his baby and still treats you like shit and does not literally treat you like a goddess actually hates you and has no intentions of ever giving you what you desire. So I say all this to say a karmic is going to feel like a soulmate. It's going to feel like you guys were made for each other. It's going to feel like everything just aligned so perfectly and that this is your person. But there's going to be so much conflict, turmoil, and trauma in that relationship that it will never work out. So when I tell you guys, leave them, I'm telling you because the sooner you break the cycle, the sooner you're able to align with your actual soulmate. Look at Nicki Minaj and Meek Mill. We could have sworn they were soulmates, but that was her karmic because he treated her like shit. Look at Sierra and Russell Wilson. We thought Future was her soulmate. He was a karmic. Had she stayed with him, she would have never been able to align with her soulmate. So break the cycle before it breaks you. You get stuck in a karmic cycle when you know this relationship has dragged you through hell and back, but you choose to stay because you love that person so much. With love, y'all know I don't be trying to bully y'all, but like, if I don't check y'all, it's like I'm having to repeat myself, and I don't like that.
8 signs of a karmic relationship. Number 1, the relationship is carnally based. There was an instant physical attraction between you two. Some of the best sex you'll ever have, followed by the worst arguments. Number 2, the relationship is addictive in nature. Despite your mental health deteriorating, everything falling apart, you can't seem to escape this connection. 3, repeating destructive cycles, on and off again, on and off again. Before, this person feels like your destiny. You feel like you were meant to meet this person and they're a part of your long-term. No, y'all were meant to meet because you signed a soul contract. This is why you're karmics, to sign up and learn a lesson from both of y'all, okay? Now, again, number 6 is the valuable lesson, because again, a karmic is here to trigger you and mirror the most unhealed parts of your spirit back onto you. This is why the karmic make you act all out of character and all of that, because there's a lesson here. Next is it's easy to mistake for love. All are mistaking physical attraction and attachment for love, and that's not what it really is. And finally, number 8 is that the issues are never mended, because again, this relationship was never meant to be mended. No matter how much time and effort you put into it, the same destructive habits and cycles continually happen. And this is because you finally leaving will be your ultimate act of self-love, and then you'll step back into alignment and into your purpose. Ashe.
Involved with a man, especially as a spiritual woman, because your instincts are going to tell you to protect this man, to help him, to serve him, especially if he's going through a rough time, or maybe he shared his personal stuff with you and you have pity for him, you feel empathy for him, and you feel this deep desire in your heart to heal him. But be careful, okay? Whatever he's going through, no matter how much you think you can help him, be there for him and help him improve his life, and genuinely you might be able to do that. You might have the magical abilities or whatever that you have going on spiritually. You know that you're more than capable of improving any person's life, especially a man that you care about. But be very discerning. Sometimes what he's going through is the consequences of his own actions. You don't know what he did to any other person. Sometimes a man is going through what he's going through because he did somebody incredibly wrong. He hurt another woman, and maybe the suffering he's going through right now is the consequences of that woman's pain that he inflicted upon. So be careful before you get involved in someone's path, because you are interrupting someone's karmic lesson. And while you think you're playing God in their life, you're actually interfering with God's plan. Be careful.
Do you truly like them, or are they just activating an attachment style for you? The hard truth is, most people really don't be in love. They are in a pattern, a habit, a predictable situation out of fear of being alone with themselves. This is why we get into these relationships as a reflection of our own insecurities. You have to be very cautious who you choose to attach yourself to, because they will end up being your karma, and you will have to pay their karmic debts by being entangled to somebody else. We all have broken homes inside of us, but most people would rather live in somebody else's broken home than fix their own. Finding the solution within inside of themselves, This is why we hop from relationship to relationship out of mommy and daddy womb. We would much rather be entertained by somebody else's company than be bored with ourselves. But once you start healing your inner child, you're gonna realize that being bored is okay, because being bored means you're at peace with yourself.
I am slowly but surely starting to realize that the reason why most relationships do not work is because people get into them for the sake of companionship rather than growth. And we'll lie to ourselves and be like, yo, I want a relationship. I want a woman in my life. I want a man in my life. Well, what comes with that, a legitimate relationship, is growth. And what's crazy is it's going to be growth against your will. Oftentimes people have to go through these karmic relationships first in order to learn the lessons they need to learn to get that person who they would consider to be their soulmate. But most people just want somebody that they can hang out with, get some food with, go shopping with, sometimes FaceTime when I'm lonely, talk to you here and there, and have sex with. And on top of that, can we do all those things and don't ever show me what parts of myself I need to work on? Because in order for me to do that, I'd have to give more of myself than I'm currently capable of giving. At least more than I'm currently aware that I'm capable of giving or being. And that whole little thing is how we go into our relationships unconsciously. But once you've sat with yourself, or if you can understand what I'm saying, you'll realize, like, yes, I do want a companion. I do want all those things, but I still genuinely do want a relationship. I want to be more me. I want to see more parts of myself that I simply cannot uncover on my own. Some healing and some growth can't take place, in my opinion, outside of relationships, which is why we must open our heart to be open to pain, to be open to suffering, in order to also be open to love and open to joy. So let's go into these relationships with realistic expectations, knowing, like, yeah, we're gonna fight sometimes. And I don't mean fight like we're just being immature and yelling at each other, at least the ones who aren't stuck in that cycle right now. Because for a lot of us, we've already been through that. But we're 1000% going to have disagreements, and we need to learn how to navigate those without tearing apart the dynamic of the relationship, while continuing to grow as a couple. And if that's not possible, at least to help each other still grow as humans. If you go into any relationship, whether it's intimate, platonic, a business, whatever, and you're going into it thinking only what can I get out of this, you are bound to have a difficult time, because your ego is in a state of consumption and you will never be satisfied. Now on the flip, if you can go into your relationship thinking, what can I offer? What can I give? How can I be a light to this other human being that I happen to share the same sky with? Then even the relationships that still don't work, you're going to be okay, because you gave. You didn't go into it worrying about what you could get. You don't feel cheated, deceived, stolen from. You go into it with a relaxed, you know what? I'm going to share this. I'm going to share my inner light with this other individual or this group of people or this person. And if they don't accept it, that's okay. It doesn't change anything for me. It doesn't change me. But yeah, that's my rant. Analyze your relationships. Analyze why I'm even wanting one. If you're currently in one, why am I in this right now? Why are we in this? I hope I didn't break nobody up, but I hope that I also probably brought some people together. If you have questions, drop in the comments, message me on Instagram.
Okay, I'm not sure who needs to hear this, but you cannot be with a low vibrational person if you are a high vibrational being, because at the end of the day, and you can flip the gender roles, the person is going to start associating you with low vibrational people that they have dealt with in the past. And this is not to bash any of their past people. This is just the reality of it. Even if what attracted them to you in the first place was that you were different from their normal person, they're still going to end up looking at you the same. If the person has not healed the things in them that they need to heal, and they have insecurities that they bury or they're deep down, they're going to continuously look at you like you're the other people and the past things that they have done, because confirmation, I just scratched my nose. They're going to look at you like you're the past situations, because they don't even understand how they got you in the first place. So then they start like psyching themselves out because they're secretly insecure, and they're like, well, there's no way this person can just want just me, like, because they don't even want to be themselves. So how could you want them? How could they understand what you see in them? So they'll start associating you with the negative toxicity that they've had in the past, because they've never seen anything different. So it's like they don't want to trust you. Part of them does, but they don't want to trust you. They don't want to really feel the feelings that they feel for you. Understand, these are people that you cannot change. They have to want to change on their own. And I know a lot of you are healers. A lot of you are people who you see like, I just saw so much potential, and potential is an amazing thing. It's amazing to see the potential in people. But if someone doesn't see it in themselves, you can't force it. And you can't just hope that one day they wake up and be the person you want them to be, because the reality is if they wanted to change, they would change. And I'm sorry. It's just a way to get closer to you. And even if they say sorry, are they really sorry if they go and do the same thing again? And this doesn't even have to fall under one category, because everybody thinks apologies are just like, oh, cheating and da-da-da. It could be for anything. Because the reality is, when people have insecurities about themselves, they will go out their way to treat you any type of way. It doesn't even have anything to do with cheating on you. It could literally be anything. And you know that you're not being 100% treated to your value. You need to leave that person alone, because if that person wanted to change, that person would change. This message is for somebody. I hope that the person who needs to hear it, you hear this message, because you're worth so much more. You are somebody that truly values you and sees the greatness inside of you. Not sees the greatness once you walked away, because they knew you were great. They just didn't want you to see that, because then they would have to level themselves up. And you feeling low about yourself makes them feel good.
I don't know if you guys understand the concept of someone's karma attaching to you, but I suffered as a result of this for years, so I'm going to break it down for you. So every person has karma as a result of their good or bad actions, right? Sometimes as women, we date certain men who have wronged a lot of people, wronged a lot of women, and they have karma coming their way. They deserve it for whatever reason. It's a lesson. It's a learning point. It's necessary for growth. What ends up happening is, when we won't let go, despite the fact that the universe is trying to break us apart, we become stuck in this man's orbit. We're attached to him. Now, this man has all this negative energy coming his way because, again, he needs it. It's for him. For whatever reason, for his journey, he needs it. But because you don't know how to separate and move out the way, you become a victim to all the energy that's coming here that was never meant for you. And you suffer as a result.
Will be more mean to you than someone whose ego you wounded.
If you have been blessed to be a karmic mirror, I want to see you in the comment, because a lot of people, they don't understand just how painful it is at first to understand that you trigger people. You literally don't even have to do anything, and people are like, oh my gosh, look at her, who does she think she is with her eyebrows and her hair and her shirt? And you really are like, I'm just being me, I'm just doing me, like these are the things that I like. But see, in the beginning, that looks like someone saying that to you and you feeling like you have to just turn your light down so that everybody feels comfortable. Be the thermostat. Set the temperature in that room. If you like it a cool 85, the people that want it on 40 gonna have to acclimate, or they can leave the room. That's so important for you to get. Because so many people think it's the fear of being seen, but really it's your fear of success, because you already know you're deemed to be successful. And you know, when you get there, a lot of people are going to be threatened. But since you know that, that doesn't mean sit in survival mode. That means turn the abundance all the way up.
No one will be more mean to you than someone whose ego you wounded. Sometimes by just being happy and just showing up as yourself and just living your best life, that will literally hurt people's ego. And then they will start to project onto you. If you're someone that just has such a light around them, such a light about them because of the inner work that you have chosen to do, people who have fragile egos are going to see this as the biggest threat ever. And so therefore, they won't like you for no reason. They'll treat you poorly and they'll do anything to pop that bubble of light that you have around you. Don't let them. It's okay for people not to like you. You don't have to have every single person like you. It is not your responsibility to be understood, to be accepted, to be loved by others, but it is your responsibility to love, accept, and respect yourself. So focus on doing that alone so that when you're surrounded by people who are threatened by you and who don't value you for who you are, you won't be as affected or offended.